TV room.
All right.
Well, these two ladies had put it in their mind the entire time about the haunting and the ghost of the Farnsworth house. So
Whoa.
here's what I heard. We were staying, me and my wife was in the Sweeney room, and
Okay.
Alan and his buddy was in the TV room. Paul, who's my youngest son. Now, my youngest son is, he's a skeptic from the word go. He tries to debunk anything and everything. But he's so polite, so nice, it's ridiculous. Well, when these women opened that door going up into the Farnsworth house, they were expecting the worst. They were expecting ghosts to just jump out at them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they looked up the stairs, and here my youngest son reaches around with his head around the corner and looks at them. I hear the worst bunch of screaming I ever heard in my life from the street. So I ran down the hallway and everything, and Paul said, I don't know what happened, but this door opened, and I looked around, these women seen me, and they went screaming and shut the door and went flying. So he ran downstairs, opened the door, he looked around for the women, couldn't find them, and all of a sudden, at the end of the parking lot, he saw two heads peeping back at him from the parking area. And these women, when they saw him come out that door, they screamed again and ran straight for the car, scared to death. We had to go up and assure them that we were real human beings and not ghosts. But see, that's where their imagination had ran wild.
Gotcha. So there were definitely
and
limits.
they really thought they had ghosts jumping on them. But the worst part is, well, not the worst part, no. At 4:30 that morning, these two ladies were staying in a Sarah Black room. It's a very haunted room at the Farnsworth.
Right.
And I went out of the Sweeney room at 4:30 in the morning now. Because, when you're in a haunted location like that and you're by yourself, you want to get pictures. You want to take
a picture.
Yeah, take a picture before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to have a little more fun than what you're having.
Yeah.
So I walked out into the hall, and I'm taking pictures, and I heard a door squeak. And I looked up, and here's these two ladies. Here they're bringing their bag and baggage out to the hallway. And I asked them, I said, what's wrong? We got to get out of this place. We got to get out of this place. I said, why? They said, well, I was sitting in the rocker in there reading the People magazine, and all of a sudden the pages started turning on their own.
Wow. So
I'm going to tell you what, it didn't take them about 5 seconds to get out of that place.
So the ghosts were reading People's magazine?
That's what it seemed. That's what they said. And from what I see, as far as that's a possibility. I've never had my pages turned, but I've had everything else in the world happen up there.
All right. Well, Alan, let me get the question in for you. This is from Brenda from Virginia.
Yes,
this is from Brenda from Virginia. She wants to know, why do you think you've been given such extraordinary ability to capture ghosts in your electronic devices and photographs at locations where others can't pick them up?
I wish I could answer that.
Right.
I can't answer that.
Do the ghosts the ghosts like you?
I just can't answer it, and I don't know. I don't know if it's where I died and all of a sudden I had the ability. I have no idea. I don't think science don't even believe in ghosts. And the biggest part of the church congregations, there's so many religions on this earth. No one can give me an answer for that. I don't know.
No,
but I know one thing. I do not fear them. And maybe it's the respect and fear I show. I have no idea.
You said earlier, Alan, that you had died. How do you know?
Yes, sir. By the doctors.
Okay. How do you know, like the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman, she was dead and didn't know it? How do we know that you're not really dead and we're talking to a ghost right now?
Well, I hope I'm alive. First of all, I'm taking enough medication to keep me alive.
Okay.
No, I had another heart attack a year and a half after this. And to beat it all, it started up there in the Farnsworth house. I woke up that morning, that arm was just a throbbing. Let me ask you something, Daniel. Are you stubborn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know if I asked you, you're married. I know if I asked your wife if you're stubborn, she's gonna say you better believe he's stubborn.
Of course.
Men are the most stubborn human beings on the face of the earth.
Why is that?
I was going through a heart attack at the farmer's worth. My arm was pounding.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, here I am. I'm thinking to myself, oh, it ain't nothing. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
I go all that day, and my arm just a throbbing. I drive back from Gettysburg to Roanoke, Virginia. I'm so sick I can't see straight. All that night, that arm is just boom, boom, boom. The next day, I go all day long. The same feelings, the same way. Then that evening, about 7 o'clock, it hit me. And when it hit me, I had my head in a trash can for almost 2 hours. While I was in the trash can, my arm is still thumping.
Right.
Everybody's wanting to call the rescue squad for me.
Sure.
Everybody's wanting to do this and do that. The sweat is rolling off of me. I'm too stubborn and too pig-headed to go to the emergency room.
Oh, okay.
I was
going to say,
with this arm throbbing like that. Have you ever unclogged the sink?
Yeah.
And you see the water, how it does it.
That.
It'll suction and then it'll go out.
Yep.
And that's the very same thing happened. The suction hit, and instead of my arm throbbing, it went straight to the chest. And for 1 solid hour, I went through this. The next day, after going to the doctor, the first thing they did was send me to the big hospital. I had a major heart attack.
Ooh.
Right now, I have 40% of my heart that's working. The rest of it has died since I was too stubborn to go to the hospital. But that's the reasons. Yeah, I'm still alive.
Well, see, I thought you were going to say that the angel of death came to get you, and you just too stubborn to go along. But that's kind of what you did. But now that's going to be.
I probably went with him.
That's going to be a pretty odd sight to see a man jumping into a trash can. So maybe they need to take you somewhere else. I mean, another kind of doctor, perhaps.
No, when that head was in that trash can, the only thing I can do is get everything inside of me out.
I was just thinking, All right, so so there you were in the trash can. Okay, well, hopefully you're staying out there. We have a question, just kind of a quick question for you though. You talking about the marriage, and of course that's a sad thing to break up there. But did you try to save it, or did the ghost interfere with that?
What, the marriage?
Yeah.
Well, my marriage, we ended in divorce in 1985.
Okay. All right.
And it was, we had a good marriage at the time we seen this little psychic.
Okay.
But after that, Lord have mercy.
All right. Now, do you have any religious affiliations, Alan?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And, but the thing about it is, on like ghost hunting or something like this, or talking to these groups, one of the first things I say, you always respect all religion. There are so many out here. Respect everybody's religion.
Okay.
I don't care who you are. If you're there for a haunting, or you're there to investigate a house, respect the owner's religion. Period. Because if you don't, how can you expect them to respect you?
Good words.
And it's just like me coming to your house to investigate. I have to go with your religion. So just like all these groups, every time I talk to a group, I find so many different ways.
Well, then I got something for you here, and you may have heard that. You may have heard this. It's going to be a little twist for you, and some people are going to call.
That's all right.
I'm going to be called a heretic here after the show.
Here we go.
Oh, so get ready. You heard it said, treat others as you'd like them to treat you.
That's it.
But look, now let's just think about that now. Based on what you said, if you go to a Jewish man's house and say, hey, I brought us a fresh pork dinner because I like that, then you really ought not to treat them as you would be treated.
Well, I wouldn't do that in the first place. Yeah. He would be feeding me.
So there must be a deeper meaning to that.
Well, it's